Hello and welcome to EUTV Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from Evangel University and around the region. I'm Cadence Washam.
We'll also look at college games across the nation and check out the latest happenings in professional sports. I'm Nathan Amati, and this is Sports Update on EUTV. So yeah, looking at the basketball tournament.
Yeah, so our men's basketball team is playing the NAIA Open National Tournament today in Indiana against Iowa Westland, who is the 7th seed, and Evangel is the 10th seed. So yeah, that's what we have to look forward to.
And if they win this, then they'll either go up against the 2 seed of Indiana Tech, or they'll be going up against the 15th seed of Indiana South Bend. Either way, it's going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah, so good luck to our student athletes competing today.
Yes, and not only that, but for the UFC, we're going to be talking about later today of the John Jones becoming the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
Evangel women's softball team went into 3 games this last Saturday. Playing at Metters Park in Springfield, Missouri, Evangel showed up ready to play. The first game Evangel played was against Northeastern Oklahoma State. Sadly for Evangel, Northeastern defeated Valor with a score of 7-1. The second game was against Cotty. Cotty tried to keep up with Evangel, but Evangel proved to be victorious with a final score of 4-1. For the third game, Evangel went up against Minnesota Crookston. Evangel put up a fight, scoring 6 points, but in the end, the Minnesota Crookstons gained victory with a final score of 11 points.
Evangel Baseball played at home again on Saturday and did not struggle to get their 13th win of the season. Led by senior Levi Ludridge, the Valor beat the Harris Stowe Hornets 12-4. Ludridge went 4 for 5 for the day, hitting for the cycle. It was a close game in the 5th inning when Harris Stowe up 4-2. However, the Valor rallied up, scoring 10 straight runs to put away the Hornets. This was the first game of a 3-game series, which concluded with a doubleheader on Sunday. Both the men's and women's Valor tennis teams came up into the weekend on winning streaks, and both kept it going. Matching up against Baker, the women's team played very well, winning 5-2, despite only winning 1 of the 3 doubles matches. The Valor dominated in singles play, winning 5 of the 6. The men's team almost swept the Wildcats, winning 6-1. They seem to be getting adjusted to the conference play as their winning streak moved to 3 games. The women's team also extended their winning streak to 5 games.
Evangel Valor was able to participate and compete in the NAIA Indoor Track and Field Championships this last Saturday at Brookings, South Dakota. Evangel came to compete, which landed Evangel with some nationally ranked placings. Leisner had a record jump of a little over 13 meters, placing 29th in the nation. Boyven ran a little under 9 seconds in the 60-meter hurdles, placing him 29th in the nation as well. And lastly, the women's 4x800 ran a little over 9.5 minutes, placing them 14th overall in the nation. Way to go, Evangel Valor. Yeah, I'm super stoked to see how this game for the tournament goes up today in Indiana.
Yeah. And then we also, our baseball team defeated Harris Stowe, which is really good. Levi Ludridge did really well hitting the cycle for that game and really led the team really well.
Yeah, and the 4x800 for the women's track and field, like that is an amazing score to be 14th in the entire nation.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, coming up next, we'll be here with Evangel women's basketball coach, Preston Beverly.
And later, we'll look at some of the big games in college basketball and the NHL and UFC. We'll be right back.
Kiss the bride. A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Get your ass suit. You're not in here.
Yes, I am.
Move. Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back. I'm here with Evangel's women's basketball head coach, Preston Beverly. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So now that the season's over, how do you feel that the team did over this last few months in playing?
I think the season went really well. It was another year, second year here with the program.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of newness just in players. Our style, our fast-paced style was in full effect this season. So I think that at the end of the day, we did a really phenomenal job.
Now, did you see some some newer students step up as just this season of it happening?
Sure. So it was a kind of transformational year with 7 new players added on to our returners. So it was a great balance of being able to really put the team together. And again, we talked about that fast-paced style and playing fast. So I would say that we had some real growth from our freshmen and our transfers, but then also to our veterans, just to be able to see how they were able to adapt from how we played last year to this year was just phenomenal.
Now, are there any key players that are of the senior class that you can just point to, hey, these people have really showed above and beyond?
Sure. I mean, I guess we would have to start off with all-conference Alexis Roach, who's a senior this year, graduating. She had a tremendous year this year, just in being able to lead us in points, and then those other key categories of rebounds and steals being in the top 3 on our team. So I would be remiss if I didn't talk about her. But then also too, Micah Clayton, who came in as a sophomore for us, was another all-conference player this year. She played well, but when you look at our team holistically, we have a number of young women who could have gotten those awards as well, just with how we play, with the pressing and the trapping and the deflections and the steals. So if you missed it this year, make sure you get back next year to watch us play, because it is a fun style with the threes and the pressing and the trapping and the steals.
Yeah, that is so impressive. And so now that the season has kind of come to a close, then what are some things that you're looking forward to doing during the off season, to practice to get better and stuff like that?
Sure. So the first part is rest, and our players will attest to that as well. Basketball is the longest season sport. When you talk about starting in pretty much September and going all the way through to March, that's a lot. That's a lot of wear and tear. And again, we talk about style and how we play. It's a lot on them. So I know for them and even our coaching staff, to be able to get a couple of weeks to be able to recharge the battery is much needed. But then also too now being able to sit back and look at the things that we were able to do and accomplish and put in now those tweaks and really be able to build our players and develop them more so moving forward now next year we can get more than 2. I mean the goal is probably to have about 4 or 5 all-conference players.
Wow, there you go. So just to backtrack a little bit, how did you get involved with becoming the women's head coach?
Sure. So I've grown up in basketball in an athletic household. So for me, it was basketball, and it's a passion. So whenever you have a passion for something, you try to find and be around those that are just as passionate. So my line to get here is a path that's taken me to some amazing places, but loving the fact that I'm here and the things that we're able to do here.
Awesome. Yeah. So if there could be like a single piece of advice that you could like just bestow upon any people that are upcoming athletes or thinking about doing that, what would it be?
Sure. It would be to find a university that you fit in without the sport. I think a lot of times students will try to just go to a university just because it's the biggest university, but they really don't really like the university. They're just going just because whether it's Missouri State, Mizzou.
Yeah.
So it's really just to try to find a university that you fit in without the sport, because then the sport is that addition too. But then if you're looking for it, make sure you're putting in the work. There are a lot of young men and young women who want to play at the collegiate level, but when you look at the number of high schools in comparison to the number of universities and colleges that offer the sport, they're not as many. So, if you really are passionate about it, make sure you're putting in the work to be able to give yourself those opportunities.
Awesome. And then you said that you have like a past with doing basketball and everything. So did you do basketball in college and everything?
I did. I was fortunate enough to be a Division I athlete. And again, that takes a lot of time and effort. But again, it doesn't really matter the level. If you're able to continue your sport in college at any level, junior college, 4-year, that is an accomplishment again, because when you look at it, I don't remember the exact statistics, but I think there's maybe 1,500 schools and universities that offer collegiate sports at any level. And I mean, you can just look at the number of high schools, it's multiplied by 3 or 4 times that. So again, the ability to be able to play in college is big, and if it's something that you want to do, make sure you put the work in.
Awesome. Coach, thank you so much for coming in today and giving us some more information on the women's basketball team and some players that are doing very well in the sport, and for some upcoming games as well for the next postseason. Coming up, we'll look at the results of the latest college basketball games as well as the NBA, NHL, and UFC. Stay tuned.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing you. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're going to need to start pushing yourself.
See, once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them. You can't change your past, but you can definitely change your future.
That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. You need something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Terry!
Take it from me, the King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
The Philadelphia 76ers travel to face the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday night to a full house of fans. The 76ers' plan was to end the Bucks' 18-long winning streak, the longest winning streak this season. In the first half, the score was very close, being tied at the end of the first quarter, and the 76ers were down by 6 at the half. The 76ers trailed 125-121 before James Harden hit a three-pointer with 1 minute and 21 seconds left in the game. After J. Rue Holiday missed a three-pointer attempt with 25 seconds remaining, the 76ers went 6 of 6 from the line. The rest of the way to seal the victory, the 76ers defeated the Bucks 133-130.
On March 4th, women's basketball teams LSU and South Carolina went up against each other in an eventful game. Within the first quarter, LSU played hard to create a gap between the two teams. By the second quarter, LSU kept going to make the point gap even wider than before, with at one point a 15-point lead. After playing hard, LSU seemed to get a little too comfortable with their lead, and Tennessee took advantage of that. In the fourth quarter, LSU tried to stay ahead, but Tennessee was too much for them. Halfway through the fourth quarter, Tennessee took the lead and won the game with a final score of 69-67.
The St. Louis Blues hit the road to Los Angeles to take on the Kings. The Blues fell short and lost with a score of 4-2, with the Kings winning. At the end of the first period, the score was tied 1-1. In the second period, Andrew Kemp scored to take the lead for the Kings. In the last period, the Kings made sure to finish strong and scored 2 more goals, and the Blues only scored 1. This win moves the Kings up to 3rd place in the Western Conference.
On March 4th, in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, past light heavyweight champion John Jones went up against heavyweight Cyril Gane. After letting go of the lightweight heavyweight belt in August of 2020, Jones started preparing to go into the heavyweight category. After hitting the gym and taking on 25 pounds, this little under 250-pound man was a force to be dealt with. On Saturday night, with the heavyweight title on the line, Jones completely demolished Jan halfway through the first round. Now with a 19-win streak, Jones is now the heavyweight champion of the world and a candidate of the greatest of all time. Yeah, getting to see how some of the games are going. Like, what are some of the things that you were pointing out to you in the 76ers game?
Yeah, so the 76ers defeated the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Milwaukee Bucks literally had an 18-game winning streak, which is one of the longest ones this season, previous to the Phoenix Suns last season.
Yeah.
So that is really neat how the 76ers were able to defeat them.
Yeah.
And in their streak.
And in the UFC game, getting to see Jones pin down Jan in like 2 minutes, like during the first round, like that's unheard of. That's like crazy. And for him to walk away as the heavyweight championship is just absolutely amazing.
That is. When we come back, we'll have the EUTV Player of the Week.
We'll also have your upcoming Evangel games this week. We'll be right back.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance. So we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Jack Frost, you do have beautiful teeth.
My what?
Are they really as white as they say? Yes. Oh, they really do sparkle like freshly fallen snow. This is an excellent example of what teeth should look like. Check out the iridescence of that incisor, the beauty of that bicuspid, the magnificence of those molars. And the best way to achieve such terrific teeth is brushing. 2 minutes, twice a day. Not 30 seconds, not a minute 45. 2 minutes. That's all it takes. They're beautiful.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family.
Ooh.
So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to Sports Update. In just a few minutes, we will take a look at the upcoming games for Evangel University. In just a few hours, we'll have a big one with Evangel's men's basketball in the national tournament. But for now, we will take a look at the EUTV Sports Player of the Week.
This week's EU Sports Player of the Week is Levi Lowridge. The Evangel baseball player was named the Heart of America Player of the Week. Levi had an amazing weekend at the plate. Levi hit for a natural cycle with a single, double, and triple and home run in that order. Levi would then hit a grand slam in the final game of the Valor Series. When all was said and done, Levi ended up with 12 RBIs and 7 out of 10 ratio at the plate. Congratulations to Levi. And now let's look at the upcoming games of the week. The first one is golf on Tuesday, March 8th in Ottawa Springs.
And for men's basketball, they'll play Tuesday, March 7th at 11 a.m. versus the number 7 seed Iowa Wesleyan in the NAIA National Tournament. And they'll also, if they win that game, they'll play Wednesday, March 8th at 3 p.m. versus the number 2 Indiana Tech or the winner, number 15 Iowa South Bend at Fort Wayne.
For softball, there's going to be 3 games on Friday, March 10th, all happening in Kansas.
And more for softball, they'll play Saturday, March 11th. They'll have 2 games, one at 9 a.m. and one at 1:30.
And for the baseball team, there's going to be a game on Friday at home, and there's also going to be a game on Saturday, March 11th at home as well.
And for men's tennis, they'll play Saturday, March 11th at 1 p.m. versus John Brown in Arkansas.
And for the women's tennis team, there's going to be a game happening this Saturday versus John Brown in Arkansas. Way to go, Evangel Valor. Getting to see the games that are be coming up and everything. There's a game happening today. I'm so excited to see how Evangel does when they beat the next team, and then possibly we'll get to go up against somebody up tomorrow in order to continue with the national championship.
Yeah, so that game today is so important for Evangel's future this season.
Yes.
And so we're excited to see how that's going to turn out. And then this weekend, baseball's at home. So Evangel students should definitely come out and watch their Evangel baseball team.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for today for Sports Update. I'm Nathan Amati.
And I'm Cadence Washam. Be sure to join us in 2 weeks as we bring you the latest in sports news. For more information on Evangel Sports, go to evangelathletics.com. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.